Hello everyone, welcome to AUCA Talks. My name is Usha and I'll be your host for today. Today we shall be discussing about Kyrgyzstan's business and economic sectors. We shall also be talking about the visit of Mr. Binod Chowdhury, the billionaire businessman from Nepal. He will be visiting Kyrgyzstan. Today in the studio I have Ms. Beishembaeva and Dr. Pillai. Welcome.
Nice to have you guys.
Hi, my name is Ajara Beishembaeva. I am the managing partner of Burger House that we launched in 2015. We do burgers. The main idea what we have is to grow the company to be a very big one, but we also, the most important for us is not only quality is first of course, but the people who provide this quality. I used to work in banking area, in IT finance, and academia as well, because as a graduate of AUCA, both BA and MBA programs, I used to be a head of MBA program for 2-3 years. But now burgers is all I do.
I love burgers. Thank you so much. And what about you, Dr. Pillai?
Yes, I'm the School of Entrepreneurship and Business Dean of that school. I've been here for the last 3 years. I come from Singapore, and I've been in academia for the last 12-15 years. It's an exciting experience for me to be in Central Asia, and I'm learning and enjoying it. So I'm glad that I'm invited to have a chat with you guys to participate in this thing.
We're glad to have you here.
Thank you.
So let's start with Mr. Chowdhury's visit to Central Asia and Kyrgyzstan. What does it mean for the region, his visit? Let's start with you.
I think that having the same background, probably Nepal, like Kyrgyzstan, same almost resources. The people is most important for the country that can be developing. Mr. Chowdhury can be like a role model for our entrepreneurs, Kyrgyz businessmen who can actually build their businesses using their knowledge, approaches, and not relying mostly and heavily on the resources that are given, but mostly on their knowledge. And I think that his value as a businessman that made himself to first and only billionaire in Nepal opens maybe the road to most of our businessmen who can think like, I can be like him, more like inspiring.
They could connect, that's what you mean.
Yes.
Thank you. And what do you think, Dr. Pillai?
It's an exciting time that we are getting interesting visitors, especially Mr. Binod himself, simply because it clearly kind of highlights Central Asia as the next last frontier of economic growth and development and cultural exchange. It also goes to say what has happened to the world. The world has become flat. There is no barriers for mobility. There's no barriers for exchange of ideas and global knowledge itself. And this is exciting time for Kyrgyzstan simply because also it shows to the outside world that they're open for business. Because people are still having this whole negative view about how Central Asia is. Some don't even know about the very existence of Kyrgyzstan or Kazakhstan or Tajikistan and other parts of Central Asia. So these are the ex-Soviet countries or post-Soviet countries, and it's timely that such visit from a billionaire clearly highlights the opportunities Kyrgyzstan plus all other states of this region are looking for, right, in terms of inflow of foreign capital, inflow of ideas, inflow of internationalization of business culture itself, right? So it's important.
Oh yes. In which sectors should foreign investors focus on in our region?
Probably I'll start.
Yes,
coming
please,
from an academic point of view, actually. Simply, I think there's variety of areas where billionaires like him and many others to follow suit could look into. For instance, I'm developing some reports for the ADB and World Bank and so forth. What's happening is that we are looking at sectors What are the sectors where we could actually study what are the vulnerabilities and what are the growth potentials? And one of the sectors which I kind of like really feel should be looked into closely is the services sector. Kyrgyzstan is a wonderful place in terms of the mountainous regions and the offerings in terms of extreme sports and ecotourism is humongous. That's one of the areas because it contributes almost 20-25% of the GDP.
Oh, yes.
So I feel that service sector is one of the areas they should because it has a lot of multiplicative effect throughout the whole entire economy. And second of all, we can look at the idea where the government's policy in the recent times is to do digitization, which is the Rajak project, where we are looking at how government is now trying to digitize government services along with the financial services and all other services in the country. So these are the two main areas which I would say would be an interesting prospect. But last but not least, we shouldn't forget the fact that we have what you call the potential to develop clean technology. And Kyrgyzstan has potential for that, especially with new inventions which I've come across, which has never been seen, with much more effective and efficiency. So these are a couple of areas which I think opportunities lie ahead for Kyrgyzstan itself.
I would agree with Jaya because being from the service industry as a burger house restaurant, one of my partners had a great idea about developing the hospitality area and the investments in this industry would be very, very useful for Kyrgyzstan and as well as for the people who visit the Kyrgyzstan country.
Yes. Also, a fact about Mr. Chowdhury's empire, he has the top income it comes from a product. It's an instant noodle called Wai Wai. We as kids, I'm from Nepal as well, and we as kids we just loved Wai Wai. That's the name Wai Wai. And you being from the food sector, or not only service, it's mostly of food, I believe. And how do you think? What are the challenges and opportunities in the food industry in Kyrgyzstan?
First of all, like I said, people. There's, that phrase probably, MPV, like minimal viable product. But product is actually not that main issue. It's mostly minimum viable person that creates that product. If, as a person, you do take care of your business, the quality will stay the same. If you neglect the business, of course the quality will go down, especially if you don't deliver the knowledge to the people you work with or your employees. And I think currently in the market, what we have a lot of restaurants. They're all different. What kind of kitchen?
I mean, strangely, we have per head, it's hundreds of restaurants.
Exactly.
I
So
love
it's very
restaurants in
interesting.
Bishkek.
But you can see that all of them differ by the quality and by the service.
Oh,
The
yes.
quality is done by people, the service is done by people. So I think one of the main challenge that we don't have that actual structure to, provide better service for people who come and visit us. That's what we're actually working on. I know we have some issues too in business. It's always like that. But our main focus is if you want to have really high quality products in your restaurants, first you have to train your people on a really high level. And then those people, they select the products like we do every day, hand-picked products. They just select them. If something is wrong, they just don't use it. Then when they cook it, I'd rather throw away several burgers than serving it to people when it's not of a high quality.
Oh yes, of course.
Can I quickly jump into that thing? And also preventing waste. Waste technology has become a huge business in India.
Yes.
I'm visiting one in April up in Delhi in Habitat, right? And they are using waste to actually create green technology, clean gas and everything. So, and the Japanese have already done it. They use it for tars or road tar. So that's another area Kyrgyzstan, especially billionaires and investors, can actually explore those possibilities. So the potentials are tremendous for such a visit.
Since we're being in the heart of Central Asia, we can collect not
As
only
I
in
s-
Kyrgyzstan but also different
As I say,
countries.
last frontier of growth. There's potentials which has never been tried, or probably developed economies might not have the chance to develop it again. But here, the experimental guide is here. So why not, right? So
Of course. where you remind me of the situation in Nepal. It's a small country and we have a very remarkably big population.
Yeah.
And we could do the same with waste management, and this could be a good opportunity for Kyrgyzstan
definitely.
and for Nepal as well.
Definitely.
And what do you think, Dr. Pillai, about the challenges and the opportunities in not only in Kyrgyzstan but in Central Asia?
I mean, let me tuck it in with the challenges. What I feel personally as an academic through the last 3 years is that we have a system which is stuck between trying to jump up to the global economic order and a system which still stuck in the post-Soviet scenario. It's trundling along slowly. The transition is slow. I believe it's going to speed up soon with the new government, younger generation taking over the whole policy making. But it will take time, simply because you can't shove globalization into their throats so quickly, because there's a lot of understanding of culture and traditions which doesn't break down easily. So that's the main priority when global investors start to look into Central Asia, because we have to give respect to the culture and traditions and everything. But once that is nicely, and the trust is very important, because of, as I said, the post-Soviet era is a lot about trying to gain trust. So that's very important. That's one of the biggest challenges we are going to face as we move along to a point where the globalization effect starts to spread into the whole Central Asian aspect, and especially for Kyrgyzstan. But the opportunities, as I said, there's plenty of opportunities in terms the Central Asian aspect, or the diaspora within Central Asia could learn a lot from the global order. But at the same time, there has to be many instances where Central Asia can offer some kind of a perspective to the global economic and cultural disorder, right? And that's where it's a two-way transition. We have to understand that perspective. So the challenges aside, the opportunities are going to be immense in that sense, as I said, in terms of technology, in terms of cultural development, exchanges. And think about the BRI initiative, the global, the new Chinese investing in the One Belt, One Road initiative. It's going to touch across not only Central Asia, but you're going to look into Pakistan, India, you know. So these are going to be really getting into full steam in the next 5 to 10 years. So I think the challenges and opportunities are going to be there, but it's for the good.
Yes, the new Silk Road, eh?
Yes, yeah.
You are a business person, and you are also a local. And how do you see yourself connecting with the foreign investors? How could the local business people connect with the investors and the business people who are foreign? How could we work together?
This is actually continuing with the MPV thing. The investors would be investing not only into the idea, even if you have a tremendous idea, but they're actually investing in you, how you're going to be developing this idea and managing. So as long as we have people who are not only educated, like going to business schools, but also have the experience, extensive experience in different areas of business, because life is the best school, I think, that can teach us how to do the business. Then this person is going to be valuable to the investors. And a lot of people, like Mr. Chaudhary, who come visit Kyrgyzstan, they're looking for this kind of people with their products. And actually, there's a lot of opportunities for businessmen here in Kyrgyzstan to find the investors, as long as you show them that you're the person they can trust. You're the person that you can develop the product in, like, scalable, where the investors can not only invest money but also get in return. But also we have, I'm proud to say that a lot of people that I know and work with, they have great ideas and they're really worth being invested too.
Oh, yes.
And I don't think there's a big shortage of money coming in. It's just the point, what kind of investors are coming? There are people who are like smaller scale, but big scale investors, like billionaires who are having big corporations and want to turn Kyrgyz companies into huge corporations as well. Of course, they're not still noticing us. And I think in the near future, one of the companies, Kyrgyz companies, can be a star, and other investors will notice that, and then they might come to the region. We just need to find that star, or hopefully that's going to be us.
I mean, just adding along with what you were saying, The opportunities, as I said, is a huge chunk of it, but the opening of the corridor is very important, and understandably, it's timely too. And this is what the school, like the Entrepreneurship and Business Administration School itself, we kind of like inculcate. We call it entrepreneurship because entrepreneurs are taking calculated risks. We can't train students in a lab, but they have to go out there and they want to take risks.
Yes.
Right? It has to be calculated. But here as a school, we are bringing industry towards the school so that when we build the next generation of students or leaders, they understand the concepts and they are willing to take risks. And we consistently kind of educate that the world is it's an oyster for you. It's a matter of time before you get to succeed. So like Ajara, she must have struggled through to build this whole burger chain, right?
Oh, yes, of course.
And we require more like this. And what else in the world is available in Central Asia is that there is a lot of entrepreneurial skill sets. It's all about guiding, and it has to be from a non-institutional and institutional perspective towards a more nationalistic kind of effect, right? It has to be very gradual, and that's the reason why the school at AUCA itself, we try to inculcate those kind of ideas so that when they go out there, they are ready to meet the challenges. They know they have studied, but the book, having a book and reading it and going out there and seeing the real challenges, two different things. What we are doing is taking a global perspective into the school and telling them, go out there, take their chances, because once you're going to bet on 10 houses, there's going to be one house which is going to be a winner.
Of course.
Right? That's one of the principles I learned from Lee Kuan Yew back in Singapore. That's how he did it, and that's why one of the top countries in the world, the way it has developed with our resources, very limited human resource, there's nothing there. But I think it's all about taking the right calculated risks as an entrepreneur.
Yep. Well, being as a participant, sorry.
Yes, please go
As a
ahead.
participant of several projects with business school,
Yeah.
we work with the students on BA and MBA,
MBA
programs, both. It's great that you provide them with the tools, knowledge, and let them be in the playground of business.
Yeah, let them decide what they want.
A playground or battlefield.
Yeah, our battlefield, but usually battlefield starts first.
Oh,
and
yes.
then once they cross the battlefield, then they realize, yeah, finally I saw the playground for me to do what I need to do. So it's
Yes.
all about having the nice environment, they have to go out of their comfort zone to deal with these things. If not, no one is going to take the risks and move forward. And in the, that's the only way to actually kind of like see the positives of what's happening. And then with the invitation of this billionaire who's coming from, Mr. Binod coming in, I think he would definitely be a kind of a highlight for many of our students in the school or many people who are visiting him here. And I look forward to be participating in that.
Oh,
conference.
yes. Well, that was Dr. Pillai and Ms. Beishembaeva, two very experienced people in the business fields and economic fields of Kyrgyzstan. We hope that the visit of Mr. Binod Chaudhary should be fruitful for the business sector of Kyrgyzstan. We wish him all the best, and we hope that such visits from potential business people will connect Kyrgyzstan to the rest of the world. This is me, Usha, signing off for today, and we shall see you in next episode. Thank you for your attention.